Most people think that retirement is all about money, how much you've saved, when to take CPP, how to make sure that your money lasts. But here's the truth that generally doesn't get talked about enough. Retirement is also one of the biggest relationship tests that you're ever going to face, because once those paychecks stop and the routines of work start to disappear, your life is going to change, and so does your relationship. Now, I've seen couples thrive in retirement, growing closer, enjoying new experiences, even saying that it was the best chapter of their lives. But I've also seen couples struggle, more arguments, more stress, sometimes even drifting apart. So in today's video, I want to pull back the curtain on retirement's hidden relationship test, why it happens, what challenges to expect, and most importantly, how to make sure it brings you closer instead of pulling you apart. Let's start with why retirement puts pressure on relationships. So if you think about it, for decades, you and your partner have probably had a bit of a rhythm. One or both of you have worked, you've had routines, you had your own space. You came together in the evenings and on weekends. Then suddenly that structure is gone. You're together all day, every day. And at first it feels like a vacation, but over time the cracks start to show. One partner might still be working while the other is retired. Now, this creates an imbalance, different schedules, different energy, and even different priorities. There's also a shift in roles. Maybe one partner always managed the money or handled the household or was the main breadwinner. Retirement really upends those dynamics. And then there's the money itself. Even if you saved well, decisions about how to spend on travel, on vacations, on hobbies can become a source of friction. So retirement doesn't just test your finances, it tests your communication, it tests your patience, and your ability to adapt together. Now, here are some of the most common challenges that I see couples face in retirement. Challenge number one is too much time together. Now, it sounds kind of funny, but it's real. Suddenly you are sharing the same space all day. Now, if you don't build in personal space and independence, it can feel overwhelming. Challenge number two, different visions of retirement. Now, one partner dreams of travel and adventure, while maybe the other wants a quiet routine at home. Now, when those visions don't align, well, tension builds. Challenge number three is money disagreements. Now, I see this one all the time. One spouse is a spender, the other is a saver, or one wants to give money to the kids while the other wants to protect their nest egg. Without a plan, these differences cause a ton of arguments. Challenge four is loss of identity. Now, for many people, work isn't just a job, it's identity. And when that's gone, one partner may struggle more than the other. And that can spill over into the relationship if it's not addressed. So let me share a few real stories here. Now, I work with a couple where the husband retired first while the wife kept working. And at first, he loved the freedom, but she started to feel resentful. She was still getting up at 6 a.m. for work while he was out golfing with his buddies. And they had to sit down and they had to have an honest conversation about fairness, about chores, and about expectations. Another couple planned a big trip to Europe, but the husband wanted to see every museum, he wanted to see every landmark there was, while his wife really just wanted to relax at cafes and just wander the streets. Now, this trip really caused more conflict than joy, and it taught them that retirement travel only works when both visions are respected. And then they had another couple who thrived. They told me that the secret was boundaries. They each had their own hobbies. They also had their own time apart, but they also built in daily rituals together. So they had morning walks, they had Friday night date nights, and that balance kept things very healthy. Here's the good news. Retirement doesn't just test relationships, it can actually strengthen them. Now, for many couples, retirement is the first time in decades that they've had the time and space to really be together, to travel, to try new things, to reconnect without that stress of work and raising kids. Now, the happiest couples that I see in retirement are intentional. They don't just drift, they have conversations, they set boundaries, and they create a shared vision. Now, they also give each other permission to be individuals. Retirement isn't just about being glued at the hip. It's about rediscovering who you are as a couple and who you are also as individuals and making space for both. So here's what you can do to prepare for retirement's relationship test. So here are 3 conversations that every couple should have. Conversation 1 is about what does your ideal day look like? Not just vacations, but just a regular Tuesday. Do you want mornings together or separate routines? Do you picture lots of travel or more time at home? Conversation 2 should be around how do you want to handle money and spending? Are you aligned on how much you spend on travel, gifts, and hobbies? Do you agree on whether to help kids financially? Now, having this mapped out ahead of time is going to avoid a lot of conflict later. Conversation 3 is how do we keep individuality while building shared experiences? Now, what hobbies will you do on your own? What activities will you share? Now, couples who balance togetherness with independence really thrive the most here. Now, you might be thinking, Adam, this sounds like marriage counseling more than financial planning. But here's the truth. Money and relationships are very much tied together, and I've seen more stress in retirement caused by unspoken money disagreements between spouses than by actual lack of money. And that's why when I build retirement plans, I always encourage couples to be a part of the process together. It's not just about the numbers, it's about values, it's about goals, and it's about a shared vision. Now, a financial plan is stronger and your relationship will also be healthier when both voices are heard. So what's the bottom line? Well, retirement has a hidden relationship test. It can challenge your routines, your roles, and your money decisions. But it's also an incredible opportunity. With the right conversations, retirement can bring you closer, deepen your connection, and give you the freedom to enjoy life together. And the difference really comes down to whether you prepare, not just financially, but relationally. If you want to go deeper into building a retirement plan that supports not just your finances, but your family and relationships, you can visit me anytime at stonecitywealth.com. I'm Adam. We'll see you in the next video.